PDC tour full time. Seen with other players that they'd much rather go that route than potentially through Q school, but 3 on a pinhead. Wow, like 3 David Beckham free kicks in the top left corner from McKinstry.
Don't let him hear you use that comparison. He's a big Liverpool fan.
Oops. Who would he want me to say? Firmino? Mo Salah?
Yeah, Salah.
Stevie G?
91. Dimitri,
Shouldn't say Stevie G in case he's a Celtic fan as well.
Bergh really does need to find something special. Wouldn't put it past McKinstry to clean up this 1-3-0.
I would not put it past him at all. Just hit that dart. Oh, he did as well. Oh, Kyle, what are you up to? Little show of aggression as well. I told you it was coming.
Well, every picture tells a story, and you just caught both players there reacting to that after the unleashing of aggression. McKinstry calming himself back down, the right thing to do. Dimitri Bergh head down, and he knows that he's facing a real struggle to get some kind of foothold in this match.
He's got the same sort of build as Barry McGuigan, and he's punching like him too. Wonderful 130 out.
57.
It's going to be Jelle Clarkson against Gary Anderson, the next match up on the main stage. That will be fast and furious. This one could be much quicker than many people would have expected. If it carries on like this, we're not going to be here much longer.
Oh, come on, Murph, you know better than that.
Well,
this
yes.
is board 2. We got drama all day and all night long. People can go 7-0 up on this board and still make it look very, very difficult to win a match.
Well, we saw one Northern Irishman come back from 7-1 down in Daryl Gurney this afternoon, beating Willie O'Connor in a last leg decider. And we're going to see another Northern Irishman do it in reverse.
134.
Bergh seems to be waking up a little bit, but it's more sporadic than that of McKinstry, who seems to be on it this evening.
140.
He's had good averages so far, Kyle McKinstry, but this seems to be a level up. He's just warming to the opportunity of getting to the quarterfinals, and he's forcing Bergh to do more of that.
I think it's about 5 levels up, Paul, to be fair. His highest average was 98. That was against Martin Schindler this afternoon. He's up at 105 here. And he was almost up by 5. Now, Dimitri Bergh, who is yet to throw a dart at a double, might need to take this out to stay in the match.
Double 16.
54.
Goes on the other side of the double that Kyle has just missed. But he has the right of return. An unfortunate bounce out. Maybe that just distracted him a little bit, and he should have been 5-0 up. He's giving a lifeline. He's giving a lifeboat to Bergh.
The trademark deep breath from Dimitri before he takes the double. It pays off.
Very deliberate in taking the dart out of the board. You can see that he's boiling up under that skin of his, and keeps his emotions in check so much. I said that my opinion of Dimitri is that sometimes he needs to let it go a little bit more and just vent.
92.
And he's the master. He's the one who's in the last 16 of the UK Open. There's a chance missed for McKinstry to be 5-0 up.
58.
Well, we said that Bergh hasn't really been tested. He's played opposition ranked far, far lower than him and has won the matches pretty comfortably. But you can only beat what's put in front of you. I just do wonder if Bergh is not quite aware of the calibre of opponent he was facing, because they won't have run into each other.
Yeah, entirely possible, because Kyle's only been playing a moderate amount of PDC darts for maybe a year now, whereas some of the video stalwarts of Belgium might know a little bit more about Kyle. Someone like Mario van der Bergh maybe, who is one of the top video players in the country of Belgium. Irish darts and Northern Irish darts is in such a wonderful place that it's no shock to find another talent from that part of the island of Ireland.
And always one that seems to come from nowhere and have a deep, deep run at the UK Open, and it could be Kyle McKinstry, but Van den Bergh having, well, been handed the way back into the match. He's looking likely to double his leg tally here.
More scores of 60 coming in now from McKinstry, just on the wrong side of the wire. And Van den Bergh has got a little bit of breathing space for possibly the first time. He will return, but if you're going to miss that double 18, you want to be on the outside, really.
Yeah, there are a few players that really fancy that double 18, but it does become a little sticky when you go inside. Van den Bergh with a decision to make here. Can he nail the double 9, or is he going to split? He does split. He's already nailed double 8 once. He did it again.
Showing a little bit more emotion there, and I think that's a sign that maybe he just wants to vent a little bit more. He knows his game better than anybody. He's of course mentored by his father, who was a fine player himself. He spent a lot of time with the Highbrecks boys over the years. He knows all about venting emotion from captain of Belgium, Kim Highbrecks.
Kyle McKinstry raced out of the blocks here, winning the first 4 legs, checkouts of 96 and 130 to bookend that run, and he was averaging well into 3 figures. But he has kind of regressed to the mean, and Dimitri van den Bergh is taking advantage.
You've got to understand that if you can ride the adrenaline wave at the start of a match and get yourself a big lead, at some point the adrenaline is going to dissipate a little bit. And you have to play with a more calm mindset and a heartbeat that's probably more like 100 as opposed to 135. That's better from Kyle.
Can go forgotten. You mentioned it yesterday, Paul, when we had Dimitri here on stage 2. He is actually a winning machine at Minehead, isn't he? A 2-time World Youth Champion here.
Yeah, on the main stage too, and both of those finals he averaged over 100. Loves Minehead, and who's to say that if he was to get through this match that he couldn't go on and win the title tomorrow? But he's got a huge task in front of him to start with. Can he take out the finish that Kyle took out a few legs ago?
Well, he could. But he hasn't. McKinstry has the opportunity to supersede that checkout and add another big finish to his Roll of Honour.
Kyle. Oh, fantastic effort. And that would have hurt Dimitri's chances massively. But it's a scare for Dimitri. It's now double 16. Another. Kyle's dodged one himself, and now he can go 5-2 up. This is just for a hold of throw. Wasn't comfortable going to the hockey there. Sensibly comes back and tries once more, and all it takes is one dart to get himself to the halfway point.
Dimitri van den Bergh had another good run at the World Championships at Alexandra Palace, his second quarter-final placing in 3 years, but he has struggled at the start of this season. 4 first-round exits from 6 on the floor, and probably even more disappointingly for him, a second-round defeat at the Belgian Darts Championship last weekend at the hands of Jamie Hughes, who we've just seen beat Mensa Suljovic here on stage 2.
Yeah, Dimitri didn't really play well in that match. It's puzzling, really, that his floor form isn't really at the same sort of level as his stage form. It's one of the modern 216s. And very well done there from Bergh, because somebody was shouting out, "Come on, Kyle," in the background. He didn't step away, he just got it done. I know there are a lot of people out in the crowd this evening who have had a very long day, but they should still show respect for people when they're going for their doubles. I saw a sign today at the rugby that said, "Respect the kicker." Well, you should respect the dart player when they're going for their doubles.
Good point, well made. And it is slightly different here, isn't it, in the more intimate setting of stage 2. There isn't that wall of noise that you've got behind you in the big open main arena here at Butlins Minehead.
100.
So that would be a nice change to a darts venue, wouldn't it, if they put it in the middle of the arena and it was a 360-degree view.
100.
There'd have to be some kind of revolving stage. It could end up feeling seasick, Paul.
Oh, that would be dreadful if you didn't have your sea legs. Maybe they could change the view of the board after every leg and just turn it around 90 degrees. A bit like the revolving board in Bullseye.
Well, you put that to Mr. Herm, Paul, and we'll see what he comes back with.
I think he's a bit busy this week.
93.
I mentioned the noise from the crowd in the main arena. The crowd here, the fans here in reds, watching on stage 2, certainly gave them a run for their money when Johnny Clayton pinned that perfect leg earlier this evening.
Clausen's had a bright start on the main stage. He's 2-1 up on Gary Anderson. That's very bright as well. It's almost a picture-perfect 180. On throw, Kyle is under threat again. Bergh is turning up the heat, the intensity as well. Interested to see the response from McKinstry as this match gets tighter.
Double 14. Double 7. Can't afford to go inside. Hasn't. He finds it in a roar from Dimitri Bergh to rival the likes of Gerwin Price. Because he trailed this match 4-0, and at that point, Paul, if you'd have said to him, "I'll give you 5-all at the break," he'd have bitten your hand off and you wouldn't have had an elbow left to sneeze on.
Absolutely right. Look at the level of concentration and somewhat micro-meditation. And Dimitri Bergh, he's noted for it. That's why he's one of the most mature young players in the world. Because he believes in looking after yourself, he believes in the whole meditative state when you're playing your best, but he also believes in that tiny bit of aggression as well. Sometimes you've got to fight your way out of a spot, and he's having to do that this evening against a very plucky opponent.
He's now wrapped up 4 180s.
Well, Murph, you asked me the question about the break being a good time for someone and a bad time for the other.
45.
It's a good time for a break for McKinstry, but a really bad one for Bergh, who is bubbling right now.
Is there a way to navigate that? Would you suggest to one player to go away, have a word with themselves, calm themselves down, and the other to perhaps stay on the stage and try and keep the momentum going?
Potentially. I think it all depends what you feel you need based on experience. If you don't have any experience of breaks in this format match, you just have to go with the flow. Bergh's response to the blistering start from McKinstry has been terrific. Not going to go ball here.
89.
Tremendous setup, and it should be 5 each at the break after the next visit.
95.
Been very good in this section of the board, Dimitri Bergh. It was a slow start for the young Belgian. Lost the first 4 legs.
16.
I'm not sure how much he believed he could hit that double 16 with that third dart, because I'm not sure he could see it. But this would be outrageous. Rather unlikely after the darts we've seen for the last 2 or 3 legs. Just in case, because you never know, if Bergh has one bad dart here and it goes way south of the double 8, he might bust his shot. He'd be hoping he doesn't.
He does not, and he does tie it up. 5 apiece, winning 5 of the last 6 legs, and you can see there, McKinstry exits the stage rather rapidly. Wants to have a little word with himself because he's let a lead slip here. The dream maker has avoided what could have been